Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little bit of a different style video today on the channel. We have NASCAR 06 Total Team Control, and it is Truck Series racing for the Quaker Steak and Lube 100 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, at this time period, sponsored by Lowe's, so it is the Lowe's Motor Speedway. It's going to be an interesting race today. 50%, 67 laps is the only distance we are going to have to run in this race today. Should have one pit stop, I'd have to imagine, at some point in time in this race. This is the fourth and final 50% race of the year. Obviously, because the race is this short on a mile and a half, that's the reason why I didn't want to live stream it. So, doing a special video of it today, because later on in the week, we'll have the Coca-Cola 600, followed by the Busch Series race at Charlotte on NASCAR 06 as well. So, got to get this one out to you guys right here, right now. Again, this is the final 50% race of the year. I did qualify in practice with Ron Hornaday. The truck felt very, very fast in practice, very stable when running by myself. Now, even in traffic, it handles pretty well, but trying to make a pass is really sketchy. Remember, in 2005, this is when they grained the racetrack, and this was the same year that the Coca-Cola 600 had 22 cautions. So, with that being said, we might see a lot of yellows at Charlotte the couple times we race here this season between all three series. Today, it's only 67 laps, so maybe not going to see that many, but it is going to be very, very difficult to pass, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of action in this race. But qualified in fourth with Ron Hornaday. Great run so far this season. Has finished in the top 2 in 3 of the last 4 races, and 2 wins in that stretch as well for Hornaday. He's the only driver with multiple wins on the season, and it's been a competitive Truck Series season so far. It's been a while since the last race. This is only the 7th race of the season, but after the first 6 races, the top 4 in points are within 99 of each other, with Hornaday 4th. Coming into the day, Ricky Craven leads the points, looking for his 2nd win of the season. Enough talking, let's get into this race. It'll be the 30 truck of Chad Chafin on the pole. He'll lead the field to the green, and we are underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Hornaday already on the opening lap, going to go risky with it to the outside, 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. And that did not work out for him, and he is trying to hang on to his race truck right now off the start. Had a huge stall out and line. Trying to go 3 wide to the outside. Still has trucks underneath him, and off the exit of turn 4, trying to hang on this very, very tough surface. Again, after the graining of the racetrack, you're going to see a lot of moving around as you see the 6 truck of Hornaday not handling well. He has not ran the outside throughout practice and qualifying. And they are 3 wide off of turn 2. Hornaday going backwards off the start of the race. Still can't get down to the bottom as Chafin led the opening lap from the pole. Hornaday still on the outside through turns 3 and 4. He's trying to lift out of the throttle and find his way down to the bottom, but it is not working as he is getting freight trained. Hornaday doing a great job right now, just trying to stay on the outside lane unscathed. Can he get enough momentum off the exit of the corner to get around the truck on the bottom? Side by side right in front of him. And finally, there is an opening on the inside lane for Hornaday to move down, and he may actually be able to make a pass through turns 3 and 4. He wrecked in practice trying to make the only pass in practice he attempted to do, and ended up backing it into the outside wall off of turn 2. Also collecting the truck on his outside that he tried to pass was one of the fantasy drivers. Bill Lester to the lead, led that last lap as he cleared Chafin off of turn number 4. Chafin's had a rough start to the season. For a bounce-back performance, the Kevin Harvick Incorporated trucks outside of Harvick himself have had a very good season. Hornaday up the track quite a bit right there, using up the truck on his outside. Somehow they didn't wreck there. That was very similar to what happened in 1 and 2 when Hornaday wrecked in practice. Single file line now throughout the top 10 for the most part. Chafin already back to 4th, and he's in danger of losing another spot. He'll pull down with a block. 3 of the 4 Kevin Harvick Incorporated trucks in the top 7 in points coming into the race today. All 4th, 6th, and 7th in the standings. Good qualifying effort for Hornaday inside the top 5. Just not a great start. Pushed him back to 10th. He got 1 spot back. It's going to be difficult to pass today, but it is going to be a quick race, so you really got to be aggressive, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers are going to be in today's race. Side by side through turns 1 and 2 now. Hornaday had a big run off the exit of turn 4. Making a little bit more contact, and he's having a hard time trying to get underneath the truck to his outside. Side by side into 1 and 2. Clips the apron just a bit. Going to slide up the track Got way out of the gas to keep the truck from wanting to spin out. And we are going to alternate through the Kevin Harvick Incorporated truck, see where they're running in the opening 10 laps of today's race. And we'll start off trying to find out where Kevin Harvick in the 92 is running, and right now he is in the 27th place position. Harvick 30th in points coming in, again a lot further behind than his other race trucks. And him being stuck in traffic right now, he's having a hard time. Chase Montgomery towards the back, he's had a good start to the season in the top 10 in points, but did not qualify well. All 36 trucks still in a giant pack right now as Lester continues to lead. Harvick trying to hook that white line. Looser setup, it seems like, than Hornaday. Hornaday's truck a lot more planted to the ground, probably why he was able to have the downforce and be able to qualify really well. And we'll go to the next Kevin Harvick Incorporated race truck now, and we'll see what the 120 truck is up to. And currently he is in the 11th place position, just outside the top 10. See if we can get him into the top 10. Some way, shape, or form. And then we'll see what Sheth and the 133 truck will be up to in a couple laps as well. Obviously, you guys will know when I upload this, but I may just keep all 67 laps in this race. I may not. I'm exactly sure I'm going to do this. This race is probably only going to be about 30 to 40 minutes in total, so the video itself won't be that long. Depends what kind of action we're going to see today. And we're already down to the point where we only have about 55 laps to go. Again, it should be a one-stop race. It's going to be interesting to see when that window will open and when we'll see trucks hit pit road. Maybe somebody could stretch it all the way to the finish. It's going to be interesting. At the accelerated fuel tank, though, on the 50% races, I'm not exactly sure if that will be the case. I don't think they'll be able to go a full run about 60, 65 laps. And now back to the 133 truck, who is stuck on the outside into turns 1 and 2. A little bit of contact. Hops out of line. He's back in the 24th place position. Also didn't qualify too well. Just a little bit ahead of Harvick. Looks that middle of the upper groove now through 3 and 4. Good run off the exit of the corner, but he's got nowhere to go with the truck side by side in front of him. No, not anymore. Big block was made in the D-shaped front stretch. A lot of trucks trying to make passes and not really completing them. It seems like the run off the high side is there. And it's just so unstable aerodynamically getting underneath another truck. But the 133, if Sheth makes a pass through turns 3 and 4, looking to make another one on the front stretch right now as we go back to Ron Hornaday towards the front of the field. Hornaday has worked his way up to the 5th place position now, gaining 4 spots from when we last saw him about 5 to 6 laps ago. Bill Lester also lost the lead a couple laps ago as well. Hornaday towards the outside. He opened up a lot of the bottom now, and Brandon Witt's underneath him. One truck got loose off of turn number 4 and is in the wall. It's Bill Lester, and Hornaday goes up the middle, squeezing his way to 3rd. He had to dodge the 22. He didn't lift. He kind of took up some space with the truck underneath him already, and we nearly had our first yellow at the front of the field. Lester makes a major mistake, and now the battle is on for 2nd. between one of the fantasy drivers and then the 6 of Ron Hornaday. Hornaday with a great exit to turn 4. Drives to the inside. Side by side on the front stretch for 2nd place. Hornaday's going for it. Can he make the pass? Yes, he will. Completed off turn 2, and he's only 0.8 of a second off the lead. Looking to go, 50 to go this time by. Things are ramping up quickly. Truck ahead bottomed out, it looked like, off of turn 4. I think we were going to see many green flag runs in this race today. Now we'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time. About a 6-lap stretch. As usual, the hardest car to pass is going to be the leader with the clean air as we get strung out under the long run. Some tracks a lot easier than others, of course, but again, this is a freshly repaved track at Charlotte at this time period. And at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Hornaday running the middle groove a little bit that time, trying to get maybe a little bit better corner exit than the truck in front of him in the lead. Drove it off deep into turns 1 and 2. Similar line to what he ran in 3 and 4 that time. And he's able to do that because the truck in third place behind him isn't quite close enough to make that move down towards the inside. So it's actually working out for Hornaday. Again, he runs it. And it definitely seems like he is closing in just a bit. I haven't seen Ricky Craven towards the front of the field. Again, he is the points leader. And in fact, the 3 drivers ahead of Hornaday in points, all running behind him right now, and I don't think any of them are in the top 5. Hornaday only 99 points out at first. Maybe he's got a shot to take his first points lead of the season. He was up to second in points, but lost a couple spots with the 24th place finish at the Levi Strauss Signature Speedway in the last race. His only wins this year came at Martinsville in a 50% race, and then another 50% race at the Old Spice Speedway on a road course. As Hornaday closes this gap right now. I think we're going to have a good battle for the lead very soon. These guys can make it halfway on fuel to the halfway point, then they will be able to make it without even having to pit. Which also makes track position even more vital for the start of this race today. Glad I qualified in practice for this one. I did knowing it was a 67-lap race. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go from the back to the front on this surface, especially after practice, knowing how hard it was to pass. Again, Hornaday started 4th. He's in 2nd right now and hasn't led a lap yet through 22 laps despite having a really fast race truck. But he is closing on the leader. He's definitely pulled away from 3rd over the last few laps, and we'll see if he can challenge for the race lead soon. He's definitely close enough to have a big dirty air effect if he runs the same line as the truck in front of him, but he is still closing through 1 and 2 and fast down the back straightaway. I think he may have a shot of taking the lead here before long. Gonna run the middle to upper groove. Truck in front of him trying to do the same, but he's moving around a lot more, and Hornaday again closes off turn 4 on the front stretch. Gonna look low for the lead. Big block. Hornaday going for it into turns 1 and 2, down to the bottom of the racetrack. Slides up a little bit, trying to side draft. Right in the middle of the corner, halfway on fuel at this point, so it will be a one-stop race. And it's a drag race on the back straightaway for the lead. Just a tiny bit of contact as they go into turn 3. Hornaday going to try to use up the truck on the outside. Aggressive battle now, and Hornaday's clear off turn 4. 5 bonus points for leading his first lap of the day. 4th different leader already in the first 25 laps. May allow for Hornaday to potentially leave the most laps today. But again, when do you pit? Because there is going to be a tire fall off with the graining of the track despite it's somewhat freshly repaved. Saw that be a factor in the Busch Series race in that live stream last night. Cup Series rather, in the Southern 500 at Darlington. Cost Dale Jr. a better shot to win the race, at least, on Kurt Busch. It's just over 5 seconds off the lead at the finish. Hornaday having the track position. This is huge for him right now. As he holds on to the lead off turn 4. We'll take our second and final field pass of the day, and we'll go back to the 133 truck who is slowly working his way forward and is on the outside right now in the 24th place position. See if he's actually going to be able to hold on to it. Into 1 and 2, almost 3 wide up the middle. That was close. I don't know if they would have made that. Almost making contact as he's loose off turn 2. Going to give a little bump draft to the truck in front of him. Try to help him on the backstretch, and now he'll make the move on him into turn 3 as the truck was very loose on that outside lane, and it was an easy pass for Sheth to make. Again, he comes in 7th in points, so being back in 23rd with less than, well, now just 40 laps to go in this race all of a sudden, he really needs to get going. Sheth just hit halfway on fuel now at lap 28, a few laps after Hornaday already has. Of course, Hornaday has a really fast race truck right now, so that's probably helping him with that. Hornaday may be one of the first trucks onto pit road. Still shy of the halfway mark, though, so these guys, again, even Sheth can't make it on fuel without pitting today. Don't have to worry about our tire limit, that's for sure, with just the one stop. And we have our first takers onto pit road right now. Couple trucks out of the mid-pack on pit road. We'll go back to the 120 truck, and we'll see where he is at in the running order. Right now, he's up to 5th. He's having himself a pretty solid run so far. Nobody in the top 5 going to pit that time, and the 120 truck down to the bottom, side by side for 4th off turn 4. A lot of fantasy drivers running inside the top 5 right now. 120 getting squeezed by the truck on the outside. Not going to be an easy passing lane for him past halfway through the fuel and tire stem, but he is clear off turn 4. Another spot gain. And he's just behind Hornaday in points coming into this race today. Also looking for a solid day to move himself up in the standings. Next lap will go back to Kevin Harvick. Still caution-free. We could have our first caution-free race on NASCAR 06. I know it's only a 67 lap 50% race, but it still could be the first one in any of the series. We've had about a dozen Cup and Busch races up to this point, and this is our 7th truck race as well. That's even counting the other 50% races that we have had so far. Back to Kevin Harvick in the field, and he is in 23rd. I believe starting outside the top 30. I'm with him for a couple laps, and then we'll go back to Hornaday for the rest of this race. We'll be halfway home this time by. And obviously, because there's no live stream, there's not going to be any trivia. 9.2 seconds right now is how far back Kevin Harvick is of his teammate Ron Hornaday. Really low exit to turn 4 for Harvick, being aggressive there. Some trucks have already pipped. Those trucks would be a lap down, so if a caution came out, they would definitely have themselves taken out of a shot at a good finish. Harvick with an aggressive move off turn 2. Looking to take over the 22nd place spot into 3 and 4. He'll pull off a little slide job, and he's clear. We haven't had many trucks pit, though. There was really only a few of them that pitted mid-pack, and that was about it. And we'll go back to Hornaday, who has grown his lead out just over a half a second now over the last 5 to 6 laps. Just past halfway through the race as he runs his middle to upper groove. Second place going to hit pit road. Strategy call here is we're just past halfway. Down to 32 laps left. That should cycle him ahead of Hornaday if Hornaday stays out quite a bit here. It's just so risky if we get a caution, because we've seen cautions in the middle of green flag stops a lot in any series on this game. Doesn't matter what the race length is, 100% or 50%. It seems to happen quite often. 120 truck is on pit road from 4th this time by as well. Still quarter tank of fuel left for Hornaday. You could also consider maybe only taking 2 tires. knowing it's just a 67 lap race as well if you're choosing to stay out as long as you can if you're Hornaday, but you are going to be lacking a lot of grip. And that's going to be a risky strategy call, but the longer he stays out here, the more of a chance he's not going to cycle back to the lead. And we're going to have 30 to go this time, so he is not going to have a lot of time to try to run those guys back down, even less laps than we saw Dale Jr. in the Southern 500 last night, to be able to try and get that time back as well. If caution comes out, it's going to trap a lot of these fast trucks a lap down too. But the only stop today, definitely going to be the money stop. Harvick's still on the track. Maybe he could be on the right side of a caution to get himself a good day. He's only had one top 10 this season. Despite the fact he's led probably more laps than Hornaday going into this race. Coincidentally, Hornaday has only led 54 laps combined in the 2 races he has won this season. And he's only led 101 laps total going into this race today through 6 races, despite the fact he's 4th in points and has 2 wins. So it just goes to show, and 3 top 2s in the last 4 races as well, it just goes to show how competitive this Truck Series season has been so far. And even though Hornaday, maybe on paper at times, looks like the driver to beat for the championship right now, he's also not really going out here dominating races. This could be the most dominant one yet, if he could seal the deal at the end of things this afternoon. And when will he make his one and only stop? 40 laps complete now. He's definitely gone well past halfway. He's the only truck that still has to pit. Everybody else is a lap down. 1/8 of a tank of fuel left yet for Hornaday. They could probably stay out a few more laps. But if we get a caution to trap the field a lap down, that would be huge for Ryan Hornaday and get to restart the lead no matter what. Then he could take 4 tires as well. But I think the call is going to be 2 tires, at least as long as he doesn't lock them up, trying to slow the truck down to get the pit road speed off turn 4. 70 miles per hour is a pit road speed limit at every track in this game, in any series. So that is what Hornaday is going to have to try to narrow down to. And we'll see if he can do just that. Practice the green flag stop. Didn't have many issues with it, though. He pitted after wrecking. So he was kind of slow as it was coming into the pits. So it'll be the first time he's going to have to try to go in there full speed to try and back the truck up. There's 25 laps to go. And he's definitely securing a lot of laps led right now, which is definitely seemingly the strategy call with him being 4th in points. He's thinking big picture for the championship. Also trying to get the 3rd win of the year as well. If he gets a timely caution, he could take, again, 4 tires. But likely looking at right sides only. The accelerated fuel and tire wear. And on a track that is grain, not necessarily repaved, this is going to be very interesting. How much grip is he going to actually have? May actually make a slight wedge adjustment to counteract the fact that he's taking right sides only, because that will naturally loosen the truck up as well. He's definitely not going to be as fast as those trucks behind him anymore. Good news is he's had a lot of clean air over the last few laps. He's going to stay out this time by, and he'll end up pitting at lap 45. So Hornaday will pit at lap 45. Next time in, off turn 4. Which means when he comes off of pit road, he'll have 22 laps to go. Trying to go the entire 67-lap race on left side tires. And only changing those right sides once. Everybody else likely took 4 tire stops. So Hornaday will be on his way in. Here's the money stop. Definitely can't afford to make a mistake. And can't lock the tires up, so he can take just 2. Great timing onto pit road for Hornaday. That was about as perfect as you could be. Right side tires only. And they're going to go 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Half around a wedge going into the car to try and tighten it up. So a slight wedge adjustment for Ryan Hornaday in the 16. Trying to make the fastest stop possible with right side tires only. Slight wedge adjustment to maybe counteract that the truck might get a little bit looser on the old left side tires. And only 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Everybody's gotten back on the lead lap. Hornaday going to work his way off of pit road right now. And the leaders are going to be coming very, very fast. Does Hornaday have enough of a gap? He's definitely going to have a faster stop overall because of it. Getting up to speed pretty smooth through turns 1 and 2. He is not going to have a gigantic lead like I would have thought he could have. That's how much time he was giving up on those older tires staying out. But if he would have taken 4 tires, he definitely wouldn't even have the lead right now. So it's track position over everything else, it seems like. As he's up to speed, he only has about a 9/10 of a second lead right now with 21 laps to go. And he has old left side tires, which is going to be problematic. Could have potentially went fuel only, made that stop a little quicker. Probably would have had a few extra seconds to work with, but at least he gets a little bit more grip than what he had before, but not a lot more. Again, compared to everybody else, he's going to be lacking it. How much will that wedge adjustment help? At least for the first lap or so, it seemingly has helped a bit. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race for about the next 6 laps as we have 20 to go at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Hornaday can't make a mistake right now. Looks like second, third, and fourth all under a blanket right now, battling for what could be the eventual battle for the win. One truck is slow off turn 4 and has blown an engine. They'll get to pit road. We remain caution-free. And the last thing Hornaday would want to see today is a caution flag to bunch the field back even more and bring more trucks into it. Because at least if these 3 get around him, it's a pretty big gap back to 5th, and he should be at least a guaranteed 4th place position if it stays green to the end. He doesn't make a major mistake. Truck is moving around a little bit more in the center of the corners than what it would have otherwise. But again, does he have enough race truck? 18 laps to go. He's definitely been aggressive, pushing hard the whole race. It has worked out for him. He's definitely led the most laps up to this point. Hasn't clinched the most laps led yet. He's hoping he could do so before the rest of the field comes in case he doesn't win the race. But a little bit of pit strategy for the 6 of Hornaday. And he honestly maintained his gap that last lap. Still 7/10 of a second ahead, and that's because they're battling so hard for second. They're side by side into turn 1. The more they battle, that's going to help the 6 of Hornaday out quite a bit. Really tight off the exit of turn 2, at least with the exit, just trying to keep the truck as low as possible. Gonna back up turns 3 and 4 on the entry. He can do that because nobody's directly behind him. He's just trying different things to try to keep his truck out in front as much as possible. He's definitely getting a little looser, though, off the exit of the corners as well. And it's gonna naturally happen with the old left side tires. We'll have 15 laps to go this time by on this 1.5 mile Lowe's Motor Speedway. Left rear in the yellow, definitely wearing out. It's going to be a huge points day for the 6, especially if he can win. May have a shot at taking the points lead away from Ricky Craven, depending on where Craven finishes. Looks like that second place truck breaking away a little bit. Now it's only 2 trucks behind Hornaday, and they have definitely spaced out. Wonder if 3rd and 4th may have made contact a little bit ago. Halfway on fuel for Hornaday. Sorry, no, not quite. I was going to say, he only took 3/4 of a tank of fuel, but he knows that was enough to make it to the end. That may have saved him just a bit of time for him to have that 9/10 of a second lead when he got up to speed. And he's only lost 4/10 of a second in a little over 10 laps. So it's definitely... it's seeming like it's enough of a pace where he might actually be able to hold on. The problem is there's not a battle for second anymore, though, and that might allow the truck in second to really close. It's hard to pass, especially with the truck in clean air. Hopefully the track position is going to be enough for Hornaday as he runs that middle to upper group through 3 and 4, looking for momentum off the exit of the corner. Just constantly changing his line and trying to find speed right now because he needs as much as possible. Going to be lacking the grip. Back to the bottom through 1 and 2. And a really low exit to the corner. That last time by the way, Hornaday has clinched the most laps led. Could be his second max points day of the year because he did lead the most laps en route to victory at the Old Spice Speedway a couple races ago. On the only road course race we've still had up to this point on NASCAR 06. In the Truck Series. Oh, and he got a little too loose. He overdrove 1 and 2. Kind of clipped the apron on entry. Big run off the exit of turn 2 coming down for the second place race truck. He's going to carry that massive run into turn 3. I don't think he's close enough to make the pass yet. But maybe he could take the air off the rear spoiler of the 6 of Hornaday. Hornaday running that middle to upper groove a little bit, at least on entry. And that was a big mistake from the 6 truck. Can he hold on? 10 to go. If he gets past, it's probably game over. I don't think he's going to be able to get back around him. If they battle too much, third place might have a shot still. A bunch of fantasy trucks have been running towards the front of the field all day today, so I'm not sure who that is in second and third. Hornaday up the hill a little bit through 3 and 4. It's going to leave a little bit of a run on the bottom, and the wall goes Hornaday off the exit of the corner, and Brandon Witt to the lead. That is not a generated fantasy driver, but Brandon Witt leads at the Lowe's Motor Speedway now. A mistake by Hornaday. I think that was maybe only the second time he's touched the wall all race, and the only other time was lap 1 on the initial start when he tried to go 3 wide to the outside from 4th to get to the lead early. And it cost him on that initial restart, running the high lane all the way through turns 3 and 4, trying to find extra speed to muscle his truck back to the inside of Witt. Not going to happen that time. This is going to be a very close race. Hornaday's pushing hard again to the outside. It's really the only thing he can do to try to keep as much momentum up on the old left side tires. And he looks to be on the inside of Brandon Witt. It's tough to pass. He gets into him. There's contact. Witt going to carry a little bit of momentum off the exit of turn 4. He's going to hold on to the lead at the line. 7 laps to go. And as they're still side by side as they enter turn 1, here comes third. Witt shuts the door on Hornaday. Hornaday back up to the outside again. Can he get momentum? If the truck at third gets underneath him, that was going to stall the 6 out, but he just did not do so. So Hornaday picking up speed on the backstretch. Now he'll go to the bottom to try and protect second place. More like the middle line. Still enough to protect the inside as the truck behind him got a little tight, it looked like. Maybe back into the gas a bit too soon. Big block. Pass in the grass. Hornaday's in the lead. Bad block by the 38 of Witt. He made a mistake, and Hornaday gets by. 6 to go. Surprised Hornaday kept his truck as stable as he did after the contact. Bad block from the 38, and that costed him the lead. 5 to go. Hornaday with the track position again, but now he's got 2 trucks behind him instead of just 1. This is shaping up to be the best finish of the Truck Series season so far. Only one that really came down to the wire prior to this was Martinsville. Hornaday led just 3 laps en route to victory. Washes up the track though on the old left side tires. Off turn 4, the 38 looks low. Hornaday going to try to throw a block. He's going to be clear with his. Still 4 laps to go in this 1.5-mile racetrack. Hornaday trying to back up turn 1. The 38 all over the back bumper. 4th place is starting to close in now. You definitely tell the pace of the 6 is not there. But if he wins this race, it might be because of the tire strategy call. 38 going wide. Hornaday up the track as well. Here comes third to the inside for second. And he may get to the inside of Hornaday as well. He's going to get there. Trying to get them both. 3 to go. Side by side for the lead. Witt all over the back of both race trucks right now as Hornaday tries to hold the outside through turns 1 and 2. Trying to squeeze the trucks on the bottom and side draft as much as possible. Now looks to shut the door on Brandon Witt. He does to hold on to second. Up the track goes Hornaday into turns 3 and 4. He's in the wall. Witt to the bottom of the track. Hornaday's in the wall again off turn 4, and the 120 is up to the lead. Well, up to third, rather. 2 to go. That might have been all she wrote for Ron Hornaday. He's not done yet, though. He might be done. I don't think he's got the grip. Just couldn't hang on. They get alongside each other up there. You never know. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Down to the inside goes Brandon Witt into turns 1 and 2. Hornaday slides in the middle of the corner. He overdrives it. And he's going to be in the wall again. Off of turn 2. He is all over the place. Fantasy driver at the front of the field is going to hang on. Hornaday is going to fall all the way back to 6th in the last couple laps. Checkered flag in the air. And the race winner is going to be Stuart Claiborne in the 103 truck. His first win of the season, the second fantasy driver to go to victory lane. The first, though, since the wild card race at Daytona that started the season. Hamilton gave it a close ride, getting up to 3rd there at the end. Witt looked low off turn 2, but couldn't get to the inside of Claiborne, and that was pretty much it, as his last shot was down the backstretch. So he couldn't get to the inside into turn 3. It was too late. Bobby Hamilton, Shigeki Hattori got around Hornaday on that last lap, as Hornaday was struggling to keep it off the wall once he got into it the first time, losing the lead. Tried to hold on to the outside lane, and he just couldn't do it on the old tires. What a race, though. And surprised they actually stayed caution-free through all of it, which made it even more entertaining. First caution-free race in NASCAR 06 history on the channel, and it came in this Truck Series race at Charlotte for the Quaker Steak and Lube 100. 175.76 miles an hour was the average race speed. 34 minutes and 18 seconds was all the race took, and a 1/10 of a second margin of victory for Claiborne, who led 18 laps today en route to victory. Brandon Witt led 4 laps towards the end of this race, finishing in 2nd. John Hamilton ends up finishing in 3rd. Bobby Hamilton, no relation between the two, because John Hamilton, not a real, well, I'm sure there is a John Hamilton out there somewhere, but as far as this game goes, he's not real. But Bobby Hamilton ends up 4th. Shigeki Hattori rounds out the top 5. The driver who led the most laps today did not have the strategy call correct with the right side tires. Only if Hornaday finishes 6th with 37 laps led. Again, led the most in today's race. Todd Cleaver ends up finishing in 7th. Parker ends up 8th. Ricky Craven, the points leader, 9th. And Bill Lester rounds out the top 10. He led early, but ended up getting into the wall, and he never really recovered after that. Only 100% races for the rest of the season now for the Truck Series, as this was the final 50% race of the season. I think it's the only NASCAR 6 race I haven't live streamed as well. That was a spectacular finish. It ramped up from the get-go. And Hornaday up to 3rd in points now. He does gain 1 spot. Goes from 99 points off the lead to 77. Craven had a good top 10 performance today. Finished 9th, but Hornaday led the most laps and finished in 6th. I don't think Craven led any. Brandon Witt, though, the 2nd place finish and led some laps today. He's now only 5 points off the lead. 93 points, though, separates the top 4. So top 4 in total did all close a little bit quicker together. But Hamilton moves up in points. Chase Montgomery did not have a good day today. Qualified bad, finished way outside the top 10, so he falls to 5th. I think he came into the race 3rd in points. 2nd or 3rd. Ty Cleaver just behind him, and it looks like the top 6 still within 1 race worth of points from each other with 18 races to go in the season. Marvin Schetz still sitting in 7th despite not a great run for him today. And Kevin Harvick did not have another good run, but he does gain 2 spots in the standings now up to 28th. So now 6 different winners through the first 7 races. That's going to be it for this one. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Very entertaining race today. And tune in for tonight's live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we will be having a cup race on NASCAR 06 at Richmond. That should be interesting. Dale Jr. is on a hot streak right now. He has won 3 of the last 5 races, and he's finished in the top 2 in 4 of the last 5, coming off a runner-up, 2nd place finish in the Southern 500 to Kurt Busch last night. We'll see what he can do today in our Do It For Dale series. Thank you so much for watching this NASCAR 06 episode on KRC. I'll see you guys later tonight.